Hey guys, my name is Matt. I thought I was going to make a video. I usually don't do this, but kind of at a low point in my life. I was staying in the Salvation Army shelter on the Finley Boulevard in Birmingham, Alabama. I was homeless. I'm a veteran, U.S. Army veteran. Staying there for a little while. And I've been driving truck over the road for about 30 years. I gotta put my seat up. So, that's too much. So anyways, I had this job come up. Apply for a job. It was a foreign company called UE Line out of Elgin, Illinois, which is just west of Chicago. I don't know, 20, 30 miles or so. I was going to lease a truck, a brand new 589. Anyways, I left the Salvation Army, and they told me I'd have to wait 6 months before I could come back to stay. I've been in other shelters around Birmingham. I was staying at 3 Hots and a Cot in Center Point. And kind of got shifted around in the VA system. So I've been homeless quite a bit. Tried to get my own apartment, get a voucher through HUD-Dash, which is a long, arduous process. I'm 70% service-connected PTSD. So I make about $1,800 a month to pay my car payment and all my bills and all that good stuff. So I've been trying to get back on the road to pay my bills off faster, So anyways, make a long story short, I'm talking this video kind of at a low point in my life. There's other issues, family issues going on. But anyways, so I left Salvation Army for a job. I've been talking with this company for about a month. So I drive up through the snow and the ice on Saturday. My little car, that was fun. And I get up there Sunday, talking to my recruiter, Anna. And the story kind of changed a little bit. They advertise on Facebook quite a bit. You can get this brand new $589, $1,000 a week truck payment, big motor, 13 speed, blah, blah, blah. It seemed like a decent deal for the truck and the cost. And, I know about leasing. I've had a couple bad leases with various companies. Nova Lines was one. They had a lawsuit. MK Trucking was another. It's another story. But so I asked her, do you have a truck for me? I just drove 700 miles from Birmingham all the way up to Elgin. I'm in the hotel 7 o'clock at night on Sunday. And they're like, oh, we have to check, I don't know. Didn't send me a picture of the truck with a number on it, saying this is my truck, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And it didn't feel like love. It is a red flag, to me. And plus, Chicago's infested with these foreign companies, Moldavian based or whatever the fuck it is, Russian type, Serbian, whatever bullshit. And this one seemed pretty decent. you know, they ran legal, paid 80% line haul rate. That was really good. That was another thing that I wanted. So, Monday came, had to do some stupid tests and all. And when I woke up, I had an epiphany. I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic. I try and pray every day and live a good life. And God, I swear to you, I had a vision of what was going to happen, what was, a situation or whatever in time. It was weird, but, and what happened on Sunday, I was like, man, this ain't right, brother. So, I checked out of the hotel. Monday I was supposed to have orientation. I don't know, 7:30 in the morning, whatever. And proceed to drive back home. Most of the snow. Chicago was cleaned up. A lot of truck wrecks in Indiana heading up there. I drove home, made it to back to Birmingham to the Flying J truck stop. And couple days, actually Monday I called the VA, on the 8th floor to try and see if I can get back in 3 Hots and a Cot or one of the other shelters. So right now I'm living in my car. You can see there's a truck stop, living in my car. And there's you can see I'm at the Flying J in Birmingham that they just redone this year sometime. But yeah, I didn't have a choice. I thought this job was going to work out, and I worked for a previous company called I-65 before this job over in Walcott, Iowa. W-2 truck driving flatbed job. It was okay, for the most part. And then came a time about, July, August of this year, and this eye right here, this one, my left eye, I thought the VA, the eye doctor people in Birmingham, they said they wanted to do some stuff in my eye. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So, I talked to my dispatcher, Denise, that was with I-65. Awesome fucking dispatcher, man. She was great. Big old girl, but she was nice. Her boss was KC, and I was trying to work it out to where I could stay in the truck, because I was pretty much living in the truck. I had an apartment, but I was there 2 times a month, so and I would park my car over here in this area that I've shown you, and over there, that kind of thing. Come back, check my car, whatever. But anyways, make a long story short. So I was supposed to have eye surgery. Turned out I just got 2 shots in my eye, in my retina. That's all it was. And I was trying to, make arrangements and shit. So I come to find out Denise mysteriously gets fired. And then, I don't know, that's kind of weird angle, I'm sorry. So the HR/pay lady, her name is Katie. Yeah. Anyways, my dispatcher mysteriously gets fired. Well, when I called in today, I talked to Katie. she told me that they use the term downsizing. And I had it worked out with Katie and KC that I could stay in the truck, for a couple days. Katie didn't like that. She wanted me to bring this fucking truck all the way back to Wolcott, Indiana. And, yeah, I made a mistake. I'm not going to lie to you. I had it worked out, so I had to make a decision. And, yes, I abandoned the truck. I know there's a lighting issue in my face. And I cleaned it out for like 4 or 5 hours, took pictures, armor rolled it, all that good shit. Katie didn't like the fact that I worked it out, and when I called her today, I talked to her about it because they put abandonment on my record. Katie did. And she said, more or less, you didn't care, you didn't give us warning, all this bullshit, which I have a recorded conversation on my phone as of right now, which is bullshit. And I told her, I said, no, that's a complete fucking lie. I gave you guys warning. I was working with my dispatcher, and she got mysteriously downsized, fired, whatever, and her boss, KC, and then your big 300-pound ass comes in, doesn't like it, you guys want your fucking truck back, and you're not going to help me out and get back home to Birmingham, put me on a plane, bus ticket, car rental, whatever, and I think that was cold as shit. I know I'm getting long in the story, but I'm just explaining everything. So, needless to say, I have an abandonment on my record. And I tried, getting on with some companies, like there's Boyd and Melton down here in Birmingham, Buddy Moore Trucking, I think. A lot of them they don't even want to hear it. They don't even give a shit. So, I've been working with 10th Street. I'm still trying to dispute that shit. I even have the conversation, all that shit on my phone. I recorded it. So, yeah, I gotta go to this fucking foreign company. I have driving 30 years, man. I swear to God. October 13th, 1995 is when I got my CDL. All I've done is flatbed. I have no tickets, no accidents, no violations on clearinghouse. I think I'm pretty good. But this abandonment shit's fucking me over. So yeah, but I've been looking at another company, and so I living in my car, I'm 6'2", living in this little ass car. It's fun. It's like the lowest point in my life, I've been suicidal last year. One time I tried to commit suicide twice. I have schizophrenia, PTSD, and some other things, but I don't put that on my DOT because I'll lose my license. And that's just for my own thing, due to HIPAA laws and all that shit, blah, blah, blah. So, but anyways, I keep a good, clean record as far as I think. But after coming back home to Birmingham, I called the VA lady that does the shelters on the 8th floor in the Birmingham Hospital, and she said call every day. I've been calling Mike at 3 Hots and a Cot. He's trying to help me get in. And it just breaks my heart, man. This is another thing I got on my mind. I'm from Talladega. My mom had she had a blood clot in her leg, Went to her brain back in '04. Mom has dementia. She's bedridden. I'm her only child. My stepfather and I don't get along at all. Very narcissistic, controlling kind of person. You know, get my life clean, no kids, not married, don't do drugs, don't drink, that kind of stuff. And it breaks my heart to see my mom like that. So I got some stuff in my mind, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not suicidal, but I tell you, man, this is like the darkest day in my life. I'm not going to lie to you. There's other people at this pilot, on Daniel Payne Boulevard Road, whatever, in Birmingham. I've been coming here for years with various trucking companies, living out of their cars and shit. I didn't think it was much a thing, but I gotta wait, hopefully sometime until Friday or whatever, for a bed to become empty that I can go into at 3 hots and a cot in Center Point. I call every day, it just breaks my heart. That despair, everything, I had high hopes with this company. I didn't see any bad reviews, and when I did leave a review the other day, Tuesday, it wasn't bashing the company, and I put that in there. It was more about my recruiter, Anna. She was fine a week ago, 2 weeks ago, letting her know, hey, we have a truck, you're approved. And then I drive 700 miles up there, and the day before orientation, which was Monday this week. Today is, I think, Wednesday, if I remember. Everything, conversations, everything was totally different, It felt like smoke and mirrors. So I put a review in Google Reviews about UE Line out of Elgin, Illinois. And I get text messages, which I have. I just don't know how to put them up here. Supposedly this woman named Diana, she's the CEO, whatever, but I don't know, whoever can give a shit. She's asking me, please take it down. I had like 1-2 star, and I put my experience, that I endured for the past month and all the way up until recently, as opposed to driving up there 700 miles through all that bad weather for this job with high hopes. And I know it's a lease. I know, I'm not going to go on that. I've been in some really shitty ones, well, like Novoline, which I got a lawsuit, but so I went back and forth in text messages today, and I took it down, for reasons, but I told her, I said, that's not right, you have good and bad with any company regardless, but it was the truth. It wasn't bashing. It was just simply the experience I had with this foreign, whatever type, Moldavian, Serbian, whatever lady named Anna with a, weird last name. But I just wanted to give you my experience. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If you ever had a dark time in your life, I've had bunches in the military, and how I got my 70% when I was in Mogadishu in 93. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. But this, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am anymore. I really don't. You know, I pray a lot. I know Jesus helped me out, get up there safely in this little car through all that bad ice and truck wrecks in Indiana. You know, if it wasn't for Jesus that showed me what happened on Monday, you know, I swear to God, I never had this happen in my life, but I literally saw everything, you know, literally, I swear to God. I don't know if your people are religious or not, but, you know, find faith. I believe in Christ so much, I really do. I mean, he's the only thing keeping me going. I don't, you know, I just have a loss of words, but it's just what I feel in my heart. But, you know, I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to go through, you know, as a low point in my life. I mean, I got my clothes in the back and most of it's in storage. I put in there today. I don't know what Jesus wants me to go through, but I'm going through it. And I can't talk to my mom. She knows who I am. She can't talk. I miss her so much, you know. It's just heartbreaking. It's depressing. It really is. Excuse me. It just really is, man. I sit here in this truck stop and I see other people just like me living out of their cars. You know, I see them every day. You know, I had a video chat, whatever, text message thing with the suicide hotline through the VA. You know, you can go on there and text them instead of talking, you know. And it wasn't because of the suicide. It's just I felt such despair and heartbreak and let down. You know, I've been kicked in the balls so many times. It doesn't even hurt. I forget what it feels like. You know, I just don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to do. And I pray. I pray every day. I cry. You know. I mean, I just don't know, man. I'm just trying to stay positive, but it's hard. It really is hard. You know. I mean, I love trucking. I've been doing it for 30 years. You know, and I worked for some good companies, man. Really good companies. Especially in the late 90s, early 2000s. You know, I mean, really good companies. All I've done is flatbed, specialized, heavy haul, RGN. You know, done a lot of that shit. And 04, I went into the Army Reserve. And when I was living in Talladega, my reserve unit was in Anniston, Alabama. 287th Truck Company Combat Het. And they were the largest Het company of the Army Reserve. We would mainly haul the Abrams tank, Paladins or howitzers, you know, Bradleys, shit like that, man, on the Het. And I already had my CDL, and I'd park my truck at the armory and throw my shit on and play G.I. Joe. It was fun. I liked it, but you know, it had its ups and downs. But yeah, I've hauled a lot of interesting stuff in my life. You know, I love trucking, man. I miss it. I'm trying to get back on the road. You know, yeah, I have health problems like everybody does. I'm 53. You know, I'm not going to say for what issues, but you already know about the PTSD. And I deal with that every day. You know, I do. It's not easy, but, you know, the VA, they had me on Seroquel at one time. Oh my God, like 400 milligrams, mirtazapine, lamotrigine, hydro, whatever the fuck it is, I can't remember. But I couldn't take them at night. But you know, you also lose your license if you put it on there that you take it. But that shit, man, it would kick me in the balls so much. Make me like a zombie like the next day. It's like taking 10 Benadryls, you know. Yeah, that was something. But I'm just trying to stay positive in all this negativity and bullshit, and you know, living in the car, and you know, it's the only good thing in my life I got. I just don't want to be one of them people on the side of the road begging for change or having a sign. You know, I'm not saying they're bad people, but I'm just not that. That's not me, man. I'm not going there, brother. You know, I would much rather go live in the woods somewhere, you know, meet Bigfoot, whatever, or the skinwalker, who knows, whatever. But, you know, I know I'm far-fetched, but, you know, I'm just trying to stay positive. I really am, man. And the only thing that's keeping me going is Jesus Christ. I swear to you, He's shown me what happened if I would have stayed with that company. And that's the first time I ever had that in my life. But everything was falling into place. I mean, everything, what she said, what was happening, was like falling into place. You know what I mean? If you ever had that happen in your life, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not bullshitting. But I come here just to talk a little bit and tell people about my situation. I'm not asking for money or whatever. But yeah, that's me. So anyways, I'll let you guys go. Later.